everyone, it's Christy from Artsy Bits by Kay, back with another video, and actually this time a video update on Link and Inktober. So, we're halfway through the month. Today is October 16th, but I'll show you the first 15 days of Inktober and what I have here from Linktober. If you want to see all of my Linktober pieces, you can go to my Instagram, which will be linked in the description below. But I don't have all of them here with me. Some of them are in different sketchbooks in different places. Some of them are digital art. So I'll just show you guys what I have in here. The Linktober stuff I'll just casually sprinkle through the video. The Inktober stuff will kind of go through and show at the end. But I got this bag today. I really like it because it keeps all of my art supplies that I'm using for these challenges like nice and together, so I can put them in any bag. I've found myself trying to like sift through bags to find the pieces and things that I want, so this was really convenient. So I got this today on mega sale at Vera Bradley. So I've got my two sketchbooks in here, which actually, I'll be honest, as I'm flipping it open here, I'm really only using this one at this point, the Stillman and Bern one, and I'll talk about why. And then I just threw this one in here to show that it does fit two sketchbooks. There have been times when I have another sketchbook in here that I'm working on stuff, whether it's with alcohol marker or something else. So it does fit two sketchbooks in here. In here, I am housing, and I'm missing something in here too. I just wasn't prepared. Sorry about that. In here I have my pens that I'm using for Inktober. So just a Micron pen, and then this brush pen, which is the primary thing I've been inking my pieces with for Inktober. And then my third pen, which is my soft tip Fudenosuke pen. So these are my three water soluble or water non-soluble pens. They don't, like, we'll go over them with water and they will not move. And then this is just a pen, another one of those Pentel brush pens that I have in here. And then a Jellyroll. These are watercolor brushes. This is a great little travel set. There were 3 more brushes in here that have come out, but I got this on Amazon, and these are like really nice brushes for being relatively inexpensive. They were a gift from somebody, from my sister. And then here's my color sheets. I have had other watercolors in here too, or I will have other watercolors in here as well. And then I have the metallic Viviva watercolor sheets too that are downstairs. I don't have them. But I'm just going to pull out these, and I'm going to pull out this, and I'm going to talk about each of these things and what I'm thinking about them, and then I'll show off what I've done in this booklet. So let me take my bag and set it to the side, and even set this to the side for now, because I'm going to talk about these two things. Alright, so I guess I'll start with the good. These guys are very awesome. I love them a lot. I think they're really fun and they're novel. I don't think they're going to replace my watercolor travel palette anytime soon, but to just grab them and have them convenient in a place where you might not have all of your stuff set out. These are great. The metallic ones work really well, so like having these and the metallics together, I love it. I have not really mixed much. I've not been used the mixing palette at all. I feel like there's a pretty good color range here that I haven't really needed to mix, and I just kind of am working with the colors that I have when I'm using them. But I do really like the colors, and I like them so much so far. So these are great. I think they were 100% worth the money that I paid for them, and I'm really glad that I tried them out. I don't like to be negative about products, guys. Really don't. I really like to give companies the benefit of the doubt and hope that things are going to be good. But this sketchbook was expensive. It was very expensive, and it was like same price for an Etcher Lab sketchbook. Expensive, almost. I could have bought an Etcher, which I love the Etcher Lab sketchbooks. This is not a video about that, and I'm not sponsored by Etcher, but my goodness, I love their sketchbooks. This was cold press paper, supposed to be good paper. The description led me to believe this would be great in addition to this, and I could do everything in here. I quickly learned that was not going to be the case. The swatches turned out okay from this booklet and my metallic booklet. I thought, okay, it's not too bad, but I immediately noticed how smooth this paper was. It is supposed to be cold pressed paper. It is not cold press paper. I reached out to the company and was told it was hot press paper, that they all were hot press, and that if it said cold press it was wrong. Okay, so it's hot press paper. It still feels way too smooth to be hot press paper. I have marker paper that's not this smooth, guys. Like, for real, it's so smooth. And I'm going to tell you why that is problem one. And then problem two is that it lifts everything. Because it's so smooth and because it's not absorbent, it almost has like a weird texture on it. Paint lifts right off of it. So I did this piece with Daniel Smith watercolors. And if you know Daniel Smith, you know that they shouldn't lift. At least after one layer and it's completely dry. You shouldn't be able to just wipe a brush over it and have it lift. And yet, that's exactly what happened here. I was having horrible lifting. You can see it around the eyes here. And I wasn't getting like nice color bleeds. Even on hot press paper, I should still be able to wet it and it should hold on to the water for a while and I should be able to like get color bleeds. My initial idea for this guy was that I would paint a water kind of pool around him and just tap in that green and it would bleed out and have this really neat effect. And then I would go over it again with the blue and I would bleed it in so that they had like a nice seamless look. And that was not going to happen here. This was such a difficult piece for me. This was day 3 of Linktober. It was Moldworm. So it's not bad, but it's not my quality work. Like, I don't feel good about this piece. And I'm not saying that I couldn't have done a better job as an artist. I could have, but like there was definite limitations with this paper. Which led me to, and you'll see, I have sketches that I'm not going to use in here because I absolutely cannot trust this paper. So then I went to this piece and I did the Armos Night, and it was the same thing. You can even see here, look how like streaky that is. And that's just because if I touched it, it was lifting right back up. So there was no ability to like do any kind of, like here, you can see how bad it lifted. Like, I'm not that bad at painting strokes. That's all from lifting. I will show you here. I'll grab a paintbrush. This is not a piece I did for Linktober. I did it after the fact. It's a super cute little cactus that I did that was going to be the Volt fruit, and I don't want to mess with the fruit, but watch this. This has been dry for days. Look at that. Does everybody see how that's just lifting? That paint shouldn't be able to lift back up after days of being dry. And I did this with the Viviva sheets because I was wondering if maybe they were like a better option for this sketchbook, but they lift just as bad. So like, you can't watercolor on a book if it's gonna lift off. And if you, like, I would be afraid to even ink something in this book because I would just get lifting like that. So I don't know. I am not happy with it. So yeah, I ended up not using any of these. So then I started testing it. I tested with Viviva here, and I tested here. This is alcohol marker because I was like, okay, it's really smooth paper. Maybe alcohol marker is the way to go. So I tested that, and I drew Sidon, baby Sidon. He was my NPC day 13 or 14, and I drew him all in alcohol marker, and I started to do him in alcohol marker, and like, he did turn out okay, but the alcohol marker was streaking because this isn't alcohol marker paper either. So like, it was streaking and feathering and it didn't end up looking good. So I went over him in gouache, and the gouache seems to be the best answer thus far. Now, I mean, I'll test it down here. Yeah, see, the gouache even is still going to lift, but gouache will lift after time. Yeah. I'm going to have to fix that later. Gouache will lift over time, even on regular paper because of its nature. So that's not as surprising to me. But I did end up really liking how this piece looked in gouache. I think that's going to be the only way that I can use this book going forward is with gouache because it worked otherwise. It did not work otherwise for any other medium. So it's probably going to be a book I use with gouache only. So overall, I'm very disappointed about the quality of the sketchbook and the amount that I paid for it. I won't be purchasing an Inktober sketchbook in the future from this company, but I do like their color sheets, so I would purchase those again, and I would actually even give these to somebody as a gift because I think they're really nice. So let's go ahead and go through the other pieces in my Stillman and Bern sketchbook, which I paid less for this. I don't know if it was much less, but I paid less for this Stillman and Bern Beta Series sketchbook, and it is a fabulous mixed media sketchbook. I have done all kinds of things all over the place in here and had a really good experience so far. So I started this in July. There's a couple pieces in here. So this is Linktober piece number 1. Really proud of this. This is Prismacolor with alcohol marker melting the pencils. Turned out really nice. So I did my Makar. He was my Korok for day 15 of Linktober, and he's Prismacolor as well. So you can see how well these do with that. And then here's my Inktober pieces. So for Inktober this year, I did 10 minutes for each sketch, for each piece, from sketch to ink to washes. Everything was 10 minutes. I'm allowed to pause in order to let it dry and keep going. So those are my rules I set for myself. So here's days 1 and 2, Crystal and Suit. Days 3 and 4, Vessel and Knot. I really like how the knot turned out. It was really good. I've never drawn a knot before, and Vessel, like that one too. This is one of my favorite pages. 5 and 6 is Raven and Spirit. I think for a 10-minute bird, for me, not being somebody that's drawn birds a lot, I was pretty happy with that. And that's Amy from Ocarina of Time. 7 and 8 is Fan and Watch. I like the pocket watch. 9 and 10 is Pressure and Pick. And again, I really like the vintage pressure cooker. 11, 12, and 13 is Sour and Stuck and Roof. I did 20 minutes on this whole piece because, and actually I'm at 19 minutes. I need to go back in and fix the white so that you can see it a little bit clearer. I might just put some gray ink right in there. But I just thought Stuck and Roof would go together if I put Santa in the roof getting stuck. And 14 and 15 are Tick and Helmet. And again, these are 2 of my other favorite pieces that I did. I really like the metallic here. And here, I really like how the digital numbers turned out. That was not easy to do in 10 minutes. So these are some of my drawings that are upcoming. And then here are some of the Linktober stuff that I did. Here is the cactus that I ended up using for Linktober. I wish I could have done more with it. I would still maybe go back and do a little bit more in there. And then here is Maki, who was my favorite character day because Kikwis are so fun. Here is my Golden Goddess Triforce for Goddess Day. And then those are upcoming. That's upcoming. This is today's, which is, I always imagined when I was younger and I would look for prom dresses that I wished that there were video game or like movie inspired prom dresses. And so this is my version of what would Zelda's dress look like as a prom dress. I would make it champion blue and it would have, you know, a sheen layer and then gold belts. And then I gave options for colors, sizes. Obviously it's overpriced because it's something made with a trademark. So anyway, I thought that was a really fun redesign of Zelda's outfit for Linktober Day 16. But yeah, I'm really enjoying doing everything in this book, and I'm really glad that I bought this little pouch. It's made my Inktober rush a lot better. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and at the end of Inktober in November, I'll come back and I'll show you everything, and I'll tell you how I feel then. But for now, I'm feeling pretty good, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.